back to the Pure Pawsitivity Podcast. This is where we discuss the relationship that us humans have with our pets. Today, before we dive in, I just want to say a quick little note to anybody out there who is thinking of starting a podcast or really anything tech related. Just know that there's going to be sometimes a billion things that can go wrong. And sometimes they all do, actually. So we recorded this episode once already, full disclosure, but the audio had other plans. So here we are again, round 3. We tried again and it still didn't work. So now, little plug, Riverside, that's who we're using now instead of Google Meet. So that's a little plug for them. So the good news is that if you are out here and you vet your guests the right way, they'll show up with grace. And thankfully, that's what we have today. We have Jenn with Canophera, and she was kind enough to come back today. And honestly, I feel like this take's going to be even better than the first time. So we're excited to have you on again. Jenn with Canophera, tell us a little bit about yourself and what Canophera is.
Sure, I would love to. So I'm Jenn Johnson. I'm the VP of Marketing for Canophera. Canophera is a producer of all natural dog chews. We make a variety of different dog chews that are long lasting and durable, and they are made from products from nature. Only nature, no additives, chemicals, preservatives, anything that's added to them, and everything is sustainably sourced from places around the world.
Excellent.
So cool.
We love your guys' chews. They're amazing. We chew on them all the time.
Yeah. I was just going to say, you guys must have great dental health.
Yeah, we do, as you can see. But our pets, we've literally, at this point, replaced every single toy in our house with Canophera toys. Mm-hmm. Our dogs and our cat go wild for them. Yep. They love them. We got all of them, too, for the most part. All the chews, anyways, all the wood chews. So the variety of the coffee wood and the briar root. Now we've tried those. And the coconut rope is amazing as well for like lots of different things that we'll kind of dive into. Yeah. So let's just kind of dive into the questions here. So what inspired the founding of Canophera and the idea of using coffee wood for a dog chew?
Yeah, that's a good question. So our founders started in Germany. There's 2 German guys, and one of them, named Ben, is a forestry major, and he was doing some work over in Vietnam and discovered that the coffee wood trees have to be burned down every 20 to 30 years so that they can produce new coffee crops. Well, this was very wasteful in his eyes. He did not like that they couldn't use them for anything because Vietnam's a hot country, so they don't really need, the wood for fuel. And so he said, what can I make with these coffee wood trees? He started with bird perches, and those were fairly successful, but then he discovered dogs actually like to chew on this coffee wood. And not only did the dogs enjoy chewing on it, but it was safe for them to chew because coffee wood is different from traditional woods in that it doesn't splinter. Many sticks from your backyard would splinter, and that could cause problems for the dog's digestive system, the gums, the intestines. But coffee wood actually comes off in flakes, and these flakes are fully digestible for dogs. So it is a very safe wood for dogs to chew.
It's such a great idea too, because it does, like it's wood, so it does splinter off a little bit, and honestly, our dogs eat it.
Yeah, so she hasn't even been leaving a mess. She'll just eat all the crumbles of the wood.
The flakes that are left behind. The dog saliva softens the wood, so it makes them easily digestible. And then sometimes if you come back and you find that after your dog's chewed, they harden and they look like splinters, but they're not. That's probably our biggest challenge in the industry is people coming to us and saying that wood isn't safe for dogs to chew or it's splintering, and it's not. These are flakes that come off and they're okay for your dogs they'll go right through the digestive system.
Yeah, yeah, it's really amazing. We have all of our babies around us. I was looking, here it is. So here's one.
Well,
this used to be a full coffee wood, and she makes like a pencil out of it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's like a spear she just, she's chewing it down, and you can see like the stuff that kind of came off there, and it's good for them. And you can tell that she loves to chew on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good chewed stick right here. I mean, you can see this is an unchewed stick, and the ends are soft, and that's usually where they start.
Here's the side-by-side comparison.
Yes, exactly. They'll start on the end and kind of wear it down, and slowly wear it down. So your dog's chewing that beautifily.
Yeah, she loves them. So yeah, you said you're the founders. You said that they're German guys, is your words. So what exactly is the story behind the expansion over into the U.S. market and your role in that journey?
Yeah, so Ben and Sebastian started Canophera quite a few number of years ago, and they were in the European market and also in Asia, and they wanted to break into the U.S. market. So they met Rob Johnson, who happens to also be my husband, and he's been in the pet industry for about 20 years. He did some consulting in addition to his regular job, and he was helping companies get into the U.S. And so they said, "Hey, help us get into the U.S. It's not an easy process." So he did that, and it went really well. And they said, "Hey, can you, get some skin in the game and join us in our partnership?" And so he did, and he became the third partner. And he started the Canophera LLC in the U.S., which is its own division now. And since then, that was a little over 3 years ago, we went from just having coffee wood to now a wide range of chews. And it's honestly, we're still growing. So we have new products that are being innovated right now in Vietnam. They're kind of seeing what they can come up with. But our biggest challenge is always no glues, no synthetics. You have to make it work just on its own. So that's what they're doing right now.
How cool.
That's really cool. I mean, it's really hard to find wood products out there that don't use glues or dyes or stains.
Like wax or something, like a coating of some sort.
Yeah. I was recently shopping for cutting boards, and cutting boards are, it's a thing that like we're trying to reduce our plastic intake in our life, because it's microplastics are everywhere. And so it's already in our body, it's already in our brains, but we're trying our best to like minimize the future plastic buildup. But when you try to find a cutting board, it's really hard to find. You have to find one solid piece of wood that hasn't been stained, that hasn't been coated, and it's just a hard thing to do. So even like when you do all that, and you find like the 100% wood, no stains, no whatever. If it's what they do a lot of the times, they take multiple pieces of wood and then they use glues in between. So I love that you guys don't. It's like a main part of what your mission is to be not just sustainable, but to not use chemicals or toxins in your products.
Yeah, that is the mission. It is, definitely what we pride ourselves on. However, it does make it challenging in the marketplace for different reasons, like, for example, sticks cracking. Temperature changes causes, sticks to crack. And so people will say, my stick's cracked, and it's still fine for the dogs to chew. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. It doesn't look as pretty, but it will still hold up for your dog to chew. But, these things, if we added a coating to it, it probably wouldn't crack, but we don't want to do that. And so we leave the bark on the outside, which is actually very attractive to dogs. And they aren't scented. And so that's another challenge we have with people saying, my dog doesn't want to chew this. Take some time for dogs to warm up to new chews. We have recently heard quite a few people who rub coconut oil on, or even peanut butter on the chew to help entice the dogs. That's obviously a natural thing if you're using natural products for the dogs to be able to chew on to entice them a little bit. But that can be a challenge for some pet parents with some of our products.
Yeah, it was, during our first conversation, we were talking to you about how we use coconut oil, and we rub it on the woods, and you just rub a little bit on there, and our dogs go wild for it, cat too, and it's also good for their teeth. I mean, the wood in general, chewing is good for their jaws and their teeth, but getting that coconut oil and kind of in between on the gums, antimicrobial and antifungal, and so that's also a really good thing to put on there for a lot of different reasons, because like some chew toys out there that last a really long time can get bacteria buildup and things like that. So coconut oil kind of cleans it off too.
It's such a good suggestion. I love it. I've been definitely recommending it to a lot of people since you mentioned it. And I think it also helps with the dog's dental health, which is what, all of our chews do as well. And that's another great reason to invest in these chews, because your dog can literally take care of his own teeth.
I love it. So let's explain what the word Canophera means, and then like how does it apply to like the company's mission and values?
Yeah, so Canophera came from a Latin root word that has to do with a tree. It's conifer is the tree, so basically it's just like from a tree. And so originally I think they had planned to just make coffee wood sticks, and that was Canophera is the original producer of coffee wood sticks. There are replicas out there. That's another issue we run into in the marketplace, is people saying they've tried coffee wood and it's not necessarily ours. And so it can be challenging. We don't, everyone manufacturers differently. And so we are the original producer, and then they branched out. So that's how the kind of the name came about, was just, it's from a tree, and now everything is from nature. And getting your dog back to nature is so incredibly beneficial for the dog for such a variety of reasons, just like it's beneficial for us as humans, to ground ourselves and to be in nature.
And that's really what we try to, pitch all the time with Pure Positivity. Of course, we offer a bunch of nutritional products, and nutrition being the foundation of all of it. But like, we truly believe that by focusing on our pets' health, we accidentally get healthier ourselves. So, going back to nature, like you said, that's what we got to do, because our pets, unfortunately, they're not living the life that they used to live, and the only thing that's gotten in the way is us.
Yeah. And I mean, recently I was on another podcast, and we were talking about the fact that a lot of pets now live most of their lives indoors. I mean, especially if they live in a city, and even when they go outside in a city, maybe they're just walking on concrete, they don't even get a chance to walk on grass. Our products can actually bring nature into your home. And so if a dog isn't able to be outside a lot, or to lay in the grass or walk in the grass, by chewing on something natural, it's a similar effect, especially with calming and reducing anxiety. Chewing in general is the only way for dogs to relax. So if they're able to chew, and then it's a natural product, they get bonus, it's like double the benefits that they can do.
And they're not going to get yelled at for chewing their apartment up or the rental up or whatever, so
Yes.
so
We hear that a lot. I mean, dogs have this natural desire to chew, which is actually our slogan, and so especially puppies, it's just people like, oh, I'm so frustrated, my dog's chewing this. Well, what can you redirect the behavior and give him something that he can chew? And that's usually where we start when people ask, what kind of chew would my dog like? It's like, okay, what is your dog chewing already? The furniture, the table legs. Okay, he's gonna love wood. Is it more the fabrics? He's gonna love the coconut. Is it? Does he want an animal chew? Because I'll tell you what, I have yet a dog to refuse one of our animal chews. So get something your dog will chew, and he won't be chewing on the other things that he's not supposed to.
Yeah, it's instinctual, and so it opens up their brain. So it actually can help brain development, especially in the younger ones. Our cat, I think he's like smarter than we are now. He's been chewing on your toys his whole life. And I mean, we have videos that we've shared with you of our kitten when he was a kitten, and our puppy playing tug of war with the coconut rope, and it's the cutest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's awesome. And that's the other thing that a lot of people don't realize. Dogs need stimulation and mental stimulation. So it's not just physical activity and exercise and chewing to relax, but it's also, mental enrichment and engagement for the dog, which chewing actually does. And a lot of our chews offer a challenge, especially our briar root, which is a nearly indestructible chew. Exactly. That dogs, it's such a challenge for power chewers. We have a lot of large breed dogs, Great Danes specifically right now, who, are just working hard on that, and they're loving the challenge of it. It's great for them physically and mentally.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're excited because the last time we talked, we didn't have the briar root yet.
Yeah.
And now we do, and we've even gotten more of them now for our customers too. But this toy is amazing because here's the thing, we actually...
all these edges, I don't even know how to explain.
Well, one thing that we noticed right away, within the first week or so she's a puppy still, but she would try to carry it around, right? And she kept dropping it because it's a little heavy. But now that she's been doing it for a week or two, she jumps on the bed with it and she can carry it in her jaws, so it's strengthening her mouth, and I mean... Eden was kind of mentioning that maybe if you have a pit bull, maybe you don't want to strengthen their jaws, but I think that's you want to strengthen their everything, and I mean if you proper training and all that, and they're getting diverted to chew that, they're not going to chew on you. So.
Yeah, exactly. And we actually, I don't know if I think I mentioned this last time we recorded, but we went to the Global Pet Expo in back in March in Florida, and we had someone who came and said, hey, my dog loves your briar root, and she happened to have a pit bull, and she said, my dog's been chewing on it for over a year. And I said, that's great, can I have it? Can you send it to me? I'll send you a new one, because I really need an example of what it looks like chewed. This is a pit bull chewing for over a year on one chew, and she said pretty consistently. It wasn't like he was really leaving it. Well, I mean, if you look at it doesn't look that chewed. I mean, as you showed, there's some teeth marks in it, some things like that, but that's a pretty big claim to say my pit bull's been chewing this for over a year. So we have a briar root challenge now. If your dog can destroy this in less than 2 weeks, we'll give you a new chew. I mean, we
Wow.
probably could make it 2 months. I mean, I don't know if we could make it 2 years, but it's pretty long to be able to have a chew. It's an investment, and
Yeah.
it doesn't cost a fortune. They're very affordable, so people can have a durable, long-lasting chew that gives your dog that challenge that he actually is looking for. They're searching for it.
Yeah, it's a really cool product. She loves it. So you've mentioned now like the couple of the things that we have in our home. So we've talked about the coffee wood and the coconut rope and the briar root. Walk us through a full range of your products that you offer with Canophera, and because I think you offer some other things as well, right?
Yeah. So our wood products, like we've mentioned, are all no calories. So it's great for dogs who are, maybe overweight or very sedentary. And while they chew, they also burn calories. And so the coffee wood, the briar root, and then we have coffee and cocoa, which is the piece of coffee wood with coconut rope attached. And then we have a range of coconut rope toys. These coconut rope toys are made solely of coconut fibers. Recently we've had quite a few people asking, like, how is that even possible? And what they do in Vietnam is they crush the coconut, they extract the fibers, they dry them, and then they hand braid all of our different toys. So we have a variety of toys, including the cocoa ball. The cocoa ball has proven to be a favorite among a lot of dogs and cats, like you mentioned. We have a Great Dane who's been playing with us for a few months now, and he has pulled this apart. He's pulled some pieces off, but the owner tells me the dog loves to play with this. It is incredibly affordable. For the fact if a Great Dane can play with this for a few months, she was like, this is amazing. Yeah. And all the fibers are fully digestible. So little pieces will come off as your dog chews and plays, but they're digestible. So you don't have to worry about any obstructions or, any dangers that you have with traditional rope toys. We will say that these can be drying, and so if your dog does eat a lot of these, he's probably going to be pretty thirsty, and it could cause some digestive distress if he eats a significant amount. We recommend monitoring while chewing and playing, but if you eat a lot of coconut fibers, your tummy's probably going to hurt. So we don't have to worry about obstructions, but we do have to just say, your dog might feel a little bit if they eat too much. We don't really hear that a lot, but we kind of like to give the disclaimer. Canophera is usually overly cautious with our disclaimers, just because it's better to give everyone the warnings, because you never know what
Well, we do live in America. You got to be careful. You got to use the disclaimer, so it's smart to do. I doubt that that's something that happens on a regular, if ever, and I can be full disclaimer here. I've had a German Shepherd in the past. Man, I wish I had these toys, because he used to literally eat beach towels. And I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like a 6 foot, not just like a sock or a washcloth, like a real full-on beach towel. And he digested those, so I'm pretty sure he could digest a little bit of coconut fiber.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, and I guess with a lot of this is people monitor their dog and see what their dog can handle, because it comes back to like the dental health. With our chews, they have a hardness level, starting with like the woods are softer, and then our animal chews are harder. And we do have people that tell us, my vet says I'm not supposed to chew on an antler if I can't push my thumb into it. My dog really shouldn't be having it. And it comes down to what is the dental hygiene of the dog. And so if the dog maybe, I don't know, is a rescue dog, has had a lot of dental problems, or was fed a very poor diet, maybe that's not the best choice for your senior dog. Yeah. But if you've had your dog since a puppy and he's got good dental health, dogs are actually meant to chew on hard things. It's good for their teeth, it scrapes off the plaque, the tartar, and it strengthens their jaw. So
absolutely.
But every pet parent knows what's best for their dog, and so we kind of really try to honor everyone's different opinions, because there's a lot of them out there.
That's a smart thing to do in business.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm not going to argue with you. We're just going to agree to disagree.
Totally. Yeah. You guys seem to have it down pretty good there at Canophera. The ball with the rope on it, I just wanted to share, because that guy there. Yeah. Ours is now just a ball.
Partial ball.
Okay, so they took off the rope part. Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And I never found it anywhere, so they ate it.
No distress either, none. So good digestive, and she eats it, and what we love about the coconut fiber is that it's like natural dental floss. Mm-hmm. So like they get that coconut oil. If they get the, the one that's like the dual with the coffee wood and the coconut rope on the end, they're chewing that. Get the coconut oil on there, and then they chew on the rope. And she like kind of uses like her front teeth and she pull on it.
It pulls.
It's almost like she's flossing.
Yes, exactly. Dogs love to shred and gnaw on these, and we've seen a lot who just they like nibble on the end of it, and it's pretty much natural dental floss. Which, I mean, let's be honest, who's brushing their dog's teeth every day? I mean, I would love to say I am, especially in the pet industry. Like, I would love to be like that, but we have jobs, we have kids. Like, we're not. So this is doing it. My dog's teeth. I mean, if she was here, they're sparkly and. We don't do anything except feed her a healthy diet and let her chew on. Basically, she gets a wide range of chews. Let's put it that way. And she's
Yeah,
great.
I bet.
Yeah, she's a bit spoiled.
That's awesome.
As they should be.
So you were talking a little bit about these things. They cater to different dogs. You talk about we've talked about like the sizes. So can you talk about like, say you have little dogs or bigger dogs, like what you should kind of like, if you're going to go and buy one, like what you should do?
Yeah, so all of our chews come from extra small all the way up to extra large. We really, really recommend getting the correct size for your dog, and if in doubt, size up, especially if you have a dog who's a heavy chewer. When it comes to the coffee wood sticks, we do have, a wide range of these, but if your dog is maybe, I don't know, a larger dog and you're thinking maybe a large or an extra large, go with the extra large, because if you want to see how your dog chews on it. We do recommend looking at, we have on our website what's called the chewometer, and it talks about the variety, the durability, the long-lasting nature of the chews, and it kind of gauges maybe for you where to begin, and also what is my dog currently chewing on and reaching for. We do also offer a happy chew box, which has 4 chews in the box, and so that your dog can kind of try it out. One thing I always say when I go to the animal shelter to take pictures and I bring like this basket along of all my chews, I have to hide the animal chews because they're scented, and so the dog will usually go for these first. So it's kind of, I mean, I have yet a dog to refuse either of these unless they have no teeth or they don't chew in general. But our red deer antlers, we offer splits, which is the marrow exposed, and then whole ones, which is where they have to work a little bit harder. It has a really thick wall. These are red deer as opposed to white deer. And these are picked up off the floor in the Czech Republic, off the forest floor. So again,
that's so cool.
sustainably harvested. But dogs absolutely love these. I just posted a video today of a dog like nibbling the marrow out of this one. Like, he's working so hard. Again, such a challenge, and keeps your dog occupied. Like, it is amazing to me how, dogs are looking for something to chew, and you give them something like this and they're quiet. Like, I mean, I frequently, when my dog was young especially, and she would bug me during, Zoom calls, I would just give her a sheep horn, to tell you the truth. She loves sheep horns. She's been actually chewing on this one, I think, because there's a piece missing out of it. But it keeps her so occupied to just chew on these. We recommend 20 minutes of chewing at Canophera, just because that's the ideal time for a dog to reach maximum relaxation. So they say. We're not dogs, but we guess. And you can let your dog chew for longer, but you just may find that your dog tires of it or wears himself out. I mean, it's nothing, you probably know this. Like,
well, I was gonna say our puppy Opal that eats them all. Just last night, I'm like, I wish we got a picture because it was so funny. She chewed her briar root to sleep, but she was surrounded with the root and the wood around her.
Yeah.
It was like, so she switches it out, and then she'll sleep right after she's done chewing them down for a while.
It wears them out, doesn't it? Like, it really tires them out. It's such good exercise.
That's like a 9-month-old Australian Shepherd, so there's a lot of energy there.
Yes. And that actually brings me to another point, since you said 9 months. We recommend all 6 months and up for our chews, just for teeth development. However, we have tons of pet parents who use them with puppies 6 months and under and don't have any issues. And I just say you might find a tooth after they chew, but the baby teeth are going to fall out anyway. Again, we're overly cautious about it. The coconut, so we're developing right now different things for puppies with this coconut rope. We found that you can freeze it by putting a little bit of water on it, putting it in the freezer, letting the puppies chew on it as like a teething ring. But the teething rings that are on the market right now are full of that chemical, which they're their puppy teeth are going to pierce most likely, and they're going to be ingesting this chemical and chewing on a plastic.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is all natural. They can chew on it. We have a couple prototypes for a teething ring, which is just a ring of the coconut rope that they've braided together. We are testing the durability right now with puppies because we couldn't use any glues, so they had to braid it in a way that fully looped it. So it's going pretty well. Hopefully that'll hit market soon.
Cool.
And we did just launch our cat toys. So
Yeah.
those are
Yay.
good for consumers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Which our cat loves all these toys. He goes nuts for them. He really likes the coconut rope. We actually have a catio like outside where he hangs out, and he has a coconut rope in there that he just chews on out there, and
Yep.
he loves it.
First thing in the morning, he's just sitting there pawing at it and chewing it, going through all of his teeth, flossing.
Yeah.
Getting his morning floss on.
The cat toy with the olive wood piece on it.
Yep.
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 Because from my understanding from our forestry founder, he said that cats are drawn to the olive wood because it has pheromones in a sense similar to catnip.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
know if that's true. Maybe you could give us feedback on what your cat thinks of that piece, but apparently we've seen cats nuzzle this and like kind of like be more attracted to it because it does have some scent to it.
Yeah, we have to keep his in his room. He has his own little room, of course, because it's his house. Let's be real. But we have to keep it up away from Opal,
The
our
other
puppy,
ones.
because she wants to eat that, and it's like she'll go through that pretty quickly.
And that's like this big. So I'm like, I don't know.
exactly. No, you can't have
Yeah,
that
we
one.
got to protect it for him. The other thing I wanted to share since the last time we talked is something that's really neat. So we have 2 Chihuahuas, and our older Chihuahua, she's 8. She's really funny, and she plays and she'll run around and stuff, but she's never been like a big player with toys or anything like that. However, we recently saw her nuzzled up with this, holding it holding it down with her paw and chewing on it. And then Opal tried to go up and get her chew back, and our Chihuahua was like, "Ah!" She's like, "Get away!"
It was so cute.
So a dog that you have that might not be a chewer, even try it out. Be patient. Give it a little bit of time, because it took a little bit of time for her to want to do that, and now she's like all about it, and it's just so cute.
Well, that's a great point. Dogs need time to warm up to new chews, especially an older dog. I mean, it seems like younger dogs pretty, flexible. I'll try this, I'll try that. But we do have people, commenting and giving us feedback. Like, I bought this and my dog has no interest in it. Okay, when did you buy it? 2 days ago, a week ago. Okay, let's think of some ways that maybe your dog can warm up to this new chew. So usually the first thing I recommend is try to play with the dog with the chew. Can you play fetch? Can you play tug? Can you, do something to engage, hide it, see if the dog can find it. Like, engage with the dog, or even be close to the dog while the dog's chewing. We found some dogs, who are constantly reprimanded for chewing on things they're not supposed to, are tentative. Like, can I chew on this? Am I allowed to? Am I going to get in trouble? So kind of reassuring the dog, like, yes, you can chew on this. And then the next thing, like we've mentioned, is enticing the dog with a scent, rubbing a little coconut, a little healthy peanut butter on it, and see if that kind of entices them. And then giving them the opportunity to warm up to it. Like you said, you've had these in the house for a while now, and your dog has just started to, come around to it. So if my dog at first didn't really like the briar root, but we've kept a briar root in her toy basket, and every once in a while she'll pick it out. It's not her go-to, but she will every once in a while. So it's kind of like you buy the chews and then give your dog some time and see what happens.
Yeah, that's really good advice for the folks out there who are just like, I'm not sure if my dog's going to like it. Well, one, like you've mentioned many times, these are extremely affordable for the quality of the product that you're getting. So I mean, worst case scenario, just leave it around the house, and then who knows? Like, honestly, 6 months later, they might pick it up and play with it for a little while, and then they might put it down again. It's just. But
and they
even
don't
then,
expire. That's the other benefit. I mean, like, literally, like, chews, or different treats, it has an expiration date. These don't have an expiration. I mean, maybe a couple years from now, but just don't put them outside. That's literally what we say. Or if you put them outside, bring them back in. Because, if it rains on the stick, it's going to grow mold, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's a natural product. And a lot of people will say they bring their coffee and cocoa toys outside if their dog's a rough player and leaves a mess. I put that in quotes because we have different versions of messes. But just bring it back inside, and you could have these for years. And there's not going to be a negative aspect to it.
for all the Arizonians watching, just try to definitely bring it inside, because the heat right now, it probably would definitely crack it up and dry it out faster than anything.
That's true.
It's super
Yes.
dry here, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they still last. And
Oh,
I mean,
ours are great,
like you
yeah.
said, a crack is not going to be. We don't care if they're cracked or not. Our dog doesn't care if they're cracked or not. You know,
I think it looks more almost a way kind of fun for the dog, because it's a different thing for their teeth to kind of mess with or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's a natural way of life. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, on that note, let's. You guys' customer service has been you're on point. Like, I mean, it's hard enough in this world right now because just nobody wants to. I don't know. I'm not going to go down that road, but high quality customer service is hard to find. Let's just say it that way. And you guys have been just on point with any type of, if we ever had a crack in a chew that we're, you know, like we don't mind ourselves if it's got a crack in it, but if we're selling one of your chews or something like that, because we've become affiliates with you guys, which we love doing, by the way. You guys are right on top of it, man. And I just wanted to highlight that because it's a big plus for who you guys are as a company.
Well, we're definitely happy to hear that. I mean, we really try to respond pretty quickly to any, concerns that people have, and we just want to make sure people are happy with their chews, especially because for the majority of people, this is very new. Getting natural chews is a very new way, and we're just happy you're kind of trying Canophera and hopefully giving it a real chance, because there are a lot of things that you have to understand about it, but hopefully once people step into the natural chew market, they'll stay there and they won't go back to the, plastics and chemicals and all those things, because it's just going to benefit your dog so much. And it just, like you said earlier, it's going to further impact your own health. You bring natural stuff to your dog, you're going to start thinking about more natural stuff for you. It's just natural effects.
It's just inherently going to happen, and so, we're talking about minimizing microplastics. It's in our whole life. It's not just in our bodies, it's in our dogs and our cat too. And this is very important because people don't really think about it that way. They're like, oh, they think about their own health, but all these same things that are happening to us are happening to our pets. And that's the biggest reason that we just love what you guys do, because all these toys out here, I mean, you got your Kongs and you got all these things that are made out of these rubbers. There's dyes, there's things that are just not digestible, and what happens is they swallow them and then they never come out. Like some of these things stay in their bodies, and that's just that's not acceptable.
No, and
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I did just recently see a sad post of a rope that was supposedly made of cotton and all the things that you think is natural and good, and it totally jumbled up in the doggy's belly, and they had to go to surgery, and they lost the pup. And that's tragic, totally tragic. And so how can we avoid that situation? Let's go to more natural, real digestible ways. So we are all about spreading the awareness of Canophera and what you guys offer, because we wouldn't want that to happen to anybody, so.
And I think it's just the knowledge isn't out there necessarily, and that's what we're trying to do, is just tell people there's an alternative. When I first had a dog, I was feeding my dog Iams. No offense to Iams, but it's not the best food. And giving them Nylabones. And unfortunately, the second dog we got a Nylabone piece stuck in her intestines and had to have her first emergency surgery of 3 that she had to have, and she lived through all of these. I mean, luckily she was young, but she would digest large amounts of synthetic fibers and things, and I had no idea. I mean, at the time I wasn't married, I was young, I wasn't in the pet industry, and I just didn't know there was alternatives. And so now knowing it, it's like, wow, you can choose something better for your pet. And the best part is, it's not just affordable, but it is longer lasting. So you can get a traditional rope toy and maybe pay the same amount or even less with our coconut rope toys. Ours is most likely going to last longer, and you don't have all the worries and concerns. So it's kind of a win-win situation if you have the knowledge of understanding about what you're getting and what is anticipated with the chew, which is really what we strive to do at Canophera, is the knowledge. Our website is full of videos. Our socials are full of videos and information that if people just take the time to look through it, they'll understand, yes, pieces will come off. Yes, these are flakes and not splinters. Those things, because that's a lot of the comments we get. Are these digestible? My dog, there's splinters all over the floor. And it's just get the knowledge first, and then before you buy the product. And so you'll have an understanding of what your dog's actually going to do with this.
Yeah. True. Yeah. No, and thanks for sharing that, because, sometimes I think that people, like, everybody wants to be perfect, and it's just like there's no such thing. It took us trauma and tragedy, like I was talking about my German Shepherd that used to eat towels. It's like that's not a good thing for the dog, And so, like, looking back, I wish I would have known what I know now, but all you can do is the best that you can do in the moment, and then when you learn something like this, then you take that knowledge and you move forward, and that's where the choice is made. Because if you know it and then you choose to still do the same, that's where there's a problem. That's where the disconnect is. And so truly, that's like what we're trying to do with Pure Positivity, is just educate without judgment. There's no guilt, there's no shame. It's like, so what? You've had toxic toys in your home. Now's the time to get rid of them. You don't have to spend a fortune to do it, because Canophera is affordable. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And we do try to run at least one or maybe two pretty big sales every month. I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but Father's Day is coming up on Sunday. We will have, a sale for Father's Day. We'll have a big 4th of July sale. And a lot of times we do site-wide sales that are pretty significant in terms of just, here's the opportunity to try us out, and you didn't spend a fortune, and if your dog doesn't like it, give him time to warm up. But then if he still doesn't like it, give it to another dog who might love it. I mean, I think we need to expand the awareness of the natural pet market. And like you said, once people know about it, they can make better choices and move forward with that. And then also be very cautious about what companies they choose. We do have quite a few competitors that they're using synthetics, they're using plastics, they're using, chemicals, and just be careful with the word natural. It's not, just like in, human food, you see the word natural, it doesn't necessarily mean that. So hopefully people will do their research to understand the company and what's behind it. We're a very transparent company. We will tell you where we source everything from and how we manufacture it, and we make videos on it. In fact, you can see exactly all of how we manufacture everything in any part of the world.
It's a really huge reason why we like being affiliated with you too, because we are very proud about that too, telling people like we understand the sourcing of the things that we use and promote to people. If we can't answer the question, we can direct them to you or direct them to the right person, instead of anything else, So I think that's huge.
And you guys, you heard it from her. One, I just think, excuse me, I was registering my brain as you said that. Be careful with the company you choose.
I know. You don't know how many times I type the word choose.
So there's that. But I was going to say that how would people go on and get on your email list? Because that's where you get these discounts, guys. It's a 30% discount. I mean, on an already, I guess the word cheap is like, I mean, that's a word that people love to use, but this is a very affordable product, even at 100%. So getting 30% off is amazing. So tell them just go to your website and sign up for your email list.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you go to canophera.com, it'll pop-up will say, hey, join our email list. You get immediate 10% off to join that. And then I send out emails telling you about the sales that are coming up. You still can access the sales if you're not on our email list. You just might not know about them. If you follow us on socials, I usually have everything going on there so you can find out. But also with our email list, I try to send out, weekly newsletters or information about our products, and why they're good for your dog, or how to choose the right product for your dog, or just to give more information about it. We also love pet parent testimonials, and if you get featured on there, I'll send you another special coupon code that you can use. And send us pictures of dogs chewing. Like, that's our favorite. I have been getting so many pictures. I just got one yesterday, and I looked at my husband, I said, I don't even know what language this is in. Like, I don't even know where this is from, but we're internet. Like, we literally are global. I think it was Mandarin. I don't know. I'm not sure. Or Thai. But it was like, we love to see, like, dogs all over the world chewing on our products. And I think you can get it in any country now, which is pretty awesome.
That's
wow.
great.
That's really that's great for you guys. Congratulations to you guys on that. That's awesome.
3 years.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
I mean, it's a pretty cool thing that it's become so worldwide, and now we get to visit other shows in different countries and try to just give people the different options. And then it also helps us to expand our market, because people will come to us and say, hey, here's another option for you. That's how we found out about the briar root. the briar root is, literally a root of the heather tree. And that's how we discovered briar root, was someone coming to us and saying, hey, we have all these roots. We have nothing to do with them. What should we, you know what I mean? And it was like, it's just all these innovative ideas because of meeting people around the world, which is really cool, in my opinion.
That's really cool. I know we learn the most from our customers than anything else, and so it sounds like you guys do the same. And we're always evolving, and I mean, you start off one place and you end up way over here in business, and it's
that's
pretty
exactly
awesome.
how it works. Yeah, for sure.
So last time we talked a little bit about this, and I know that you guys are big into community. So how does Canophera contribute to the communities, and how do they get involved in that type of thing?
Yeah, so since I came on board almost a year ago now, one of the pushes that I have really wanted to do was get involved in charitable opportunities. And so what we do is, yes, we do giveaways with our influencers, but the majority of our influencers and ambassadors also work with charities. And so, they'll have different events, and we will, make a basket for them with our chews that we can raffle off, or donate chews for the event. We love to work with our local charity, our local animal shelter. And so I was going there and taking pictures with the dogs, chewing on our chews, and then the dogs get the chews that they pick, that they chew on, and then I get some content. We also love to partner with like local canine units. With German Shepherds, they love coffee wood sticks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is literally, it's amazing to me. I have yet a German Shepherd to refuse a coffee wood stick. And that's the first thing we usually offer, because, I mean, like I said, they'll go for the animal chews, but if you give them the coffee wood stick, or even the briar root, I've gotten quite a few people sending me pictures lately of German Shepherds chewing on briar roots.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we love to partner with people, and just it helps with our brand awareness, but it also allows the dogs who are working for a good cause or trying to find a home to have the opportunity, especially dogs in the shelter. I mean, we have a lot of shelters that reach out to us. Our biggest challenge is just the disclaimer that we recommend monitoring the dog while chewing, and in a shelter of how many dogs, we know that's not possible. So we're going to give you the disclaimer, and I'm going to give you a box of 20 coffee wood chews, and you do with it as you wish. And we have not heard anything negative from them.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
awesome. Gratitude.
I would imagine that being really a big hit for the shelters and the shelter dogs, because they're already high anxiety, maybe even depression, those types of things. And
Bored.
Yeah, So that's huge that you do that. We love that. And we also are, we've gotten some things from you for some of our events that we do, and we're always appreciative, and you guys go above and beyond. I mean, it's really great to see as well, because we love community, and that's what drives all this. You can't do any of this without the communities that we're in, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And again, I think it's a win-win situation for us, and we constantly say reach out, and we try to honor as many as we can, even with the brand ambassadors. These are a lot of times just people who love our product, and I send free chews out, and they send me content of their dogs chewing. And it helps with our brand awareness, yes, but it's also just a great way to see a variety of dogs. I can't possibly get enough content of dogs just going to my local animal shelter, my neighbors, and even hiring dogs. And so I have so many people have a variety of dogs, from small, little small 3-pound dogs that are chewing on our extra small, all the way up to I've got quite a few Great Danes now that are chewing, and it's awesome to see.
So cool.
All
That's
dogs
really
can chew these.
So, with that said, are there any memorable testimonials that you've had recently that you'd like to share?
Yeah, like I said, I shared you the one earlier about the briar root. I think that one is definitely in my head. I love yours about the dog and the cat playing together. I think that's just awesome too. That they usually they like to play together. I've had recently another when we were at Global. We had a woman come, and she has a big German Shepherd, and she said every chew that her dog chews makes the dog's gums bleed, except for the coffee wood stick.
Yeah.
Wow.
The coffee wood stick is the only thing this dog can chew on, this big German Shepherd, and she has no idea why the dog's gums bleed. She's taken him to the vet. She's done all the research. She's had him since he was a pup. So we decided, let's let him chew on the briar root right then and there. And she said, if within minutes we'll know if his gums will bleed, and it didn't. So he chewed on the briar root while we sat there in the booth for like 20 minutes, and no bleeding either. So
That's great.
I mean, I think it's options for people who have dogs that are struggling with something that maybe it's just they need the alternative of they're allergic to the chemical. They're, you know what I mean? Whatever's in something else, this could be the alternative that your dog needs.
Yeah.
It sounds like another good customer of yours to tell them about the coconut oil.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, maybe that would be a good thing. I maybe should even post something about that, because people are very cautious about ruining the integrity of the chew by putting something on it. We've had people who say they put yogurt into their, like Greek yogurt, into the sheep horns and freeze them, and the only downside is you really better clean it super well afterwards, or it's gonna grow mold because you just put something into it. And so I guess you don't want to ruin the integrity of the chew, but coconut oil is not going to do that. So
no, because it's a natural preservative.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I use on my cutting board. Which now I'm questioning if it's actually
good.
Probably not.
We do the same. That's awesome. Last time we talked about like some of your. I know you mentioned your the teething ring as a new product you guys are working on, but we talked a little bit about some other products that you were working on. So can you expand a little bit on any new products that you're exploring, or materials, or anything that you're talking about growing your current lineup?
Yeah, so right now we're doing some research into the loofah. It's a fruit. People use the loofah to wash their body, and we're creating some toys with it. So we have some prototypes. My dog's been playing with one of them. Again, it's dried out, and so the pieces are similar to the coconut fibers. If they get any off, they're fully digestible. But it's a toy that the dog can like play with, like kind of similar to like a stuffed animal, but there's no stuffing, there's no squeaker. It's just the loofah fruit. And if you get it wet, it actually expands, which makes it kind of similar to like a stuffed toy. Let's put it that way. So we're exploring that, and we have some prototypes that have coconut rope attached to it, to kind of give it like the dual tug and chew, because our coffee and cocoa tug is our most popular. Because it offers both multiple things you can do with it. So we're kind of exploring that, and we're always looking into new products. We've looked into buffalo horns, and it's just a matter of getting them either manufactured or sourced from the correct space, which takes a lot of research and building relationships. And so we don't jump into new products quickly. We're very slow and methodical, and things are being tested before they rolled out. The cat stuff was honestly, we've had, and I mean, for maybe a year, months. I mean, it's been a while before we actually rolled it out, because it was like the testing and the manufacturing and making sure everything was in line with our standards. The German founders made sure our standards were very, very high before launching any of the products, and they've kept with that since then, which I think is great.
That's huge.
Yeah, we really love that you guys stick to your values, and you can really, it comes across in how you talk about your company and the passion in your voice. So that's amazing. The one product that I think we talked about it last time, I'm not sure if you're still looking into developing it, that I was hopeful for, and maybe it's a reminder, it would be a cat scratcher.
Yeah, we did talk about it. The challenge is how to make how to make it, like, because the coconut fibers literally are such small pieces that they braid together in ropes. I don't know, like I don't know how they would make something like where they wove it together. But the interesting thing about our team in Vietnam is they enjoy that. They enjoy that innovation. And so when they a lot of times will come to us and say, hey, we've thought about, this ring, making a ring. And it was like, oh, cool, let's try it. Let's see how it holds up. And so now we have rings that people are testing out, and we're playing tug with them. Are we going to pull them apart? It was like when we first made this cocoa ball, we had people hanging the cocoa ball from like a carabiner in a tree and having a dog hang from it to see like, how is it going to hold up? And we have a influencer. He's in Texas. I think he breeds pit bulls. And there's a video where the pit bull's literally hanging from this for a significant period of time, and it didn't break. And it was like, wow, yeah, I guess they're holding up, because with natural products, you don't know what they're going to do until, you kind of test them out and explore it. And all dogs are different. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
never know.
and cats.
Yes, exactly. They have their own personalities for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, if you ever do come out with that cat scratch, for their claws, let us know because we'll be the first
Yeah.
ones. I think that'd be an amazing product. It's hard to find quality cat products because there's so many plastics and they scratch. And then when they scratch things, they get it under their claws and then they
Yes.
clean, and so they get these plastics in their system. And so I think that'd be wonderful. And I'm sure that your guys' team, being as innovative as they are, they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely bring it. We'll bring it to them and see what they say, and yeah, hopefully they can figure something out for us.
Really cool. Well, the time's flying by here, so I'm sure we could talk all day. So let's talk about what are the long-term goals for your company, both in terms of product development and market reach.
Yeah, I mean, really, Canophera's, we've been in the U.S. a little over 3 years, and I think it's just the amount of expansion and the products we've added to our line has been more than we ever could have imagined. Let's put it that way. It's definitely growing faster, and we're kind of just trying to keep up right now with the growth. We're trying to keep it slow and steady, but it is booming faster than we anticipated. So, I mean, it just looks like a continual, hopefully steady climb upwards and slowly adding new products that we're confident in. And just ensuring that our current customers or even future customers are happy with how the chews are working and that we continually provide the knowledge. That's, my husband went over to Vietnam this past winter and they made us quite a few videos about the different products, how they're made, how they're sourced, and how to use them, because we want to make sure when people do try out Canophera, they understand, everything about the chew, because that's the biggest challenge with going natural is it's different, and so you have to kind of have the knowledge base. And once you do, we hope that people will make the natural choice, and that's the direction we all want to go, I hope.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this podcast brings some more awareness for you guys too, and sharing this worldwide on the YouTube and all other fun platforms. So
Yeah. So I got to end with one fun question. So if your dog could talk, what do you think they'd say about your Canophera chew?
Oh my gosh. If you knew my dog, this would make a lot more sense. My dog, she's a rescue dog. She's 3 years old. She has high levels of anxiety, and yet we give her multiple chews all the time.
Yeah.
She has a lot of hound in her, so her sense of scent is crazy. Like, I swear she could smell. So I couldn't even tell you from how far away, but her sense of scent is crazy. So, and her energy level, so high. And what she would probably say about his chews is more. Like, I just want more. I want variety. I want more. Her bin downstairs, I think I couldn't even tell you how many chews, like multiple of every type of chew. And she will go get one. She'll pull it out. She'll chew it on the carpet. She'll go get another one. She'll bring it to another room. She'll chew. Like, she is like an ADD dog to the max. But these chews, I know, calm her down. I can't imagine what she would be like without it. Like,
that's awesome.
She's very crazy. And you probably heard her barking. She just had a barking fit. I don't know if you heard that.
We didn't hear it, no.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, because she literally was barking for 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, I don't know. I can't do anything. I have no idea why you're barking. Okay.
It's too, we have, so our dog Opal, our puppy, she's deaf, so she doesn't know that she's barking, really. I mean, I'm sure she feels it and whatever, like instinctual, but like she could have a barking attack. And you talk about your dog not knowing what they're barking at. She has no idea what she's barking at.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It sounds pretty funny when she barks too. It's
different.
But and then so we have to kind of really look at the Chihuahuas, since with their little alert ears. I'm like, okay, is it something to worry about or not?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm like, okay, did we get a package? Like, what are we doing? Are we barking at thunder? I'm not sure. The wind sometimes is the wind.
Yeah.
That gets
She
her.
likes to bark at wind.
She does. Yeah, she feels it.
And she barks at those and tries to catch them.
I love it. All the different personalities are all so fun. We love it. So tell anybody out there that's looking to get some Canophera chews into their pets' lives, tell them where to find you, if you have anything coming up in your community or anything you want to add about today.
Yeah, for sure. So the best way to find Canophera is just go to our website. It's spelled a little bit interesting. It's Canophera. I'm sure you'll put a link in the show notes that people can go to. Depending when this gets put out there, we do have the Father's Day sale coming up, and we will have a July 4th sale coming up. So if you want to wait for one of those sales. But if you join our email list, you'll hear about all the sales and promotions that come out.
That's
And we do go to the big pet expos. So if people go to Super Zoo in August, I think you guys said you're going, we will be there, and Global in March in Florida. And it
For
seems
everybody
like,
that doesn't know, Super Zoo's in Vegas, and that's very close to Arizona. So if you can, get out there for that. Check them out,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Cool.
you can, I mean, you can meet so many different pet people out there. It's awesome. I mean, these are huge, huge shows at conventions, and it's just a wide variety of pet products, and they're super
Yeah.
fun. Like it's awesome. So Canophera will be there, and you can learn all about natural chews. And if anyone is interested in being an ambassador, like, just they have dogs who they think or have had tried our chews and they love our chews, then I'm happy to send you some, let you try them out, and see what your dog thinks.
Yeah, you guys are awesome as far as that stuff goes. You really, really are. So that's going to be it for today, guys. But we did have one last thing. Carlito just wanted to say how he feels about everybody out there. This is Carlito. Carlito, did you want to say to everybody out there in YouTube land, I love you? That's right. All right, guys. On that note,
Thank you.
well, thank you so much for tuning in. You have a wonderful day, Jen. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right.